Appreciate the follow there, Matthew. I think is how you say that. Sitting here waiting for market open. Nothing too exciting going on right now. A little bit frustrating. Was in, read this setup pretty well. Was short on this retouch. Got cold feet and sold, or bought back, I guess. And then price obviously did what it did. Same thing here. Bought right here. Got cold feet. Sold right here. Price just went up. Be like that. It do be like that, Nora. Frustrating. You gotta trust yourself. Four port, full port longs. Yeah, full port longs. I was long right here. Got cold feet and sold. I was short right here. Got cold feet and bought back. I've missed both moves, even though I was in on them right at the beginning of them. What's up, John? Good morning. Yeah, just got to watch it run away without me now. I did that both times here. Thank you. I like it too. What's the benefit of it? I mean, you get pretty substantial moves depending on the setup. I mean, it's not. It's just like, I mean, there's London session going on right now. So it's pre-market for New York, but London session's up and moving. Those are some pretty, big swings there. Good morning. Good morning. What up, Judah? Maya? Should have stayed. Should have held. The good thing is I'm reading the market well. I just need to trust myself more. Nice, Judah. Yeah, Nathan, I do that. I trail my stops, but you see what was going on here. Like we had a strong V-shaped recovery, so that's as soon as we dipped back and then started pushing again, rejecting off this one, I opened a long position. But then when dude, it was sitting here for what is this, 10 minutes? More than 20 minutes, 22 minutes. It was sitting here just bouncing back and forth. So that's where I sold right there. And then literally 2 minutes later, price proceeds to just take off. I think the news dropping at 10's not going to be. We already had the red folder news. Oh, we got 9:45 red folder news. Good call on that. I thought that was all at 8:30. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Roosters, I appreciate the follow, man. But yeah, this news will definitely be interesting to see. Yeah, man, I was just like, what in the world? I was into. What's frustrating is I was also in this short position too on this setup. I had the breaker here, and then when we got the retouch of this one, I entered right here, and then when it started coming back, I got cold feet again and sold, and then immediately it takes a dump. So I mean, I'm reading price right. I'm just not trusting my setups, which I need to do. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. I'm not in a trade right now. You do that at your own risk, though. This was a setup that I was looking for. Both these setups, you had a sweep of some major liquidity here. In this case, I think it was previous London high. Was it? Or something. You had a sweep here. Then you had a V-shaped recovery. You had these breakers right here. This breaker. This 1 minute that formed. I opened to short on the tap back into that one. Target was London lows, which it went to. Now the target is London high, but obviously with market open and stuff, it's acting wonky right now. Does that make sense, John? Appreciate the follow. Bears today. Brian, appreciate the follow. I think we get a sweep of London high. I mean, I don't know. We got news coming out in 11 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll see. No, I used the higher time frames as a kind of a confluence. We're sitting here inside of this pretty strong 4 hour fair value gap bullish. So that's helping with the fact that I'm more confident in taking a long trade. So that does play a role, but I try to go down to the lower time frames like the 15 and the 5 and the 1 to be able to get an idea of exact entry and exact timing of when it's going to go in that direction. I mean, anybody can really tell you, yeah, I think on a larger scale like this, they can say, yeah, I think price is going to do this. But this is like in the shorter period of time, this is where you figure out what price is going to do. You would think right now price wants to take out London high since it just swept London low. Let me know how that goes, Jaden. 15-minute orb I heard is good too. I don't know if basically the same concept, I would imagine. Appreciate the follow, Mayo. Yeah, John, I've seen that. I've seen that it has a pretty high success rate too. What's interesting is I back tested it, and for like 6 months straight, that strategy didn't work. But then there was like another period where 6 months straight it worked every single day. So it's kind of weird how it comes from my experience on back testing. It seems like it comes in cycles where that's super effective. Yeah, is it Judah that said his setup played out yesterday? Yeah, your trade held up. Judah, that long, that spike that we saw there around like 3:30, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, 350. This huge spike here. This was what I was anticipating the morning to do because of that news with Japan. But for some reason, I guess it didn't take effect until they actually like inked the deal, even though it was pretty much a guarantee already. So I was expecting market open to kind of do this, not this. So yeah, that long definitely was a safe bet there. I don't know why it took so long for that news to take effect. Yeah, I've taken two trades, two winners. This was another good one too. Two winners, but not winning enough that I would have preferred. Yeah, I got in on this trade right here, and then got cold feet, sold around here, and then price proceeded to go all the way to London low, and then I got in, as you can see right there, and then sold right here. So we're up uh, 270, 250 times 5 unfunded. Yeah, I gotta trust myself though, man. I this right here, I wish I had held all the way down. We're getting there though. News in 5 minutes. Who's full porting the news? Somebody's doing it. I know they are. Somebody in here is going to do it. Appreciate the follow, Zach. Montana, am I bearish? I really don't know. I would think initially for the next hour or two, what I would be looking for is a sweep of this London high. That's what I think would be the most likely scenario here. But we'll see. Very well could be bearish. We are sitting inside of a 4-minute fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. So got a 1 hour invert, two 1 hour inversions, three 1 hour inversions below us, and we're sitting inside of a 1 hour bullish. So I mean, we got a lot of pressure pushing price up, but we'll see. We have news here in 4 minutes, so I'm sure price will do something wonky when that hits. Appreciate the follow there, Too Real. Clean this chart up a little bit for you guys. It very well could, yeah. It very well could, depending on this news. Might just want an excuse to dip low. There is a lot of liquidity resting below here. Look at all that. So we'll see. That's what's up, dude. I've had hit or miss, man. It's been like half the week. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've had where the first half of the week I shit the bed, and then the second half of the week I just knock it out. I don't know what's up with that. Excuse me. What's up, Zach? Yeah, Monday, Tuesdays where I've been getting shellacked. Yeah, I hear you on that. You doing all right? You sound stressed. I hear the stress in the tone of the text. Maybe I'm misreading that. Yeah, I feel you, man. Got news in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. 1 minute and 15 seconds, I mean, excuse me. Dude, that's the worst. Yeah, getting a funded and then like I was telling somebody yesterday, the first couple fundeds I remember the first two, specifically the first two fundeds I had, passed them at the same time, activated them at the same time, traded them at the same time, blew them both within the first two trades. I was going for a record of fastest blown accounts. Got to learn those lessons though, man. Shit's tough. Risk management and sizing. All right, let's see. Flash PMI, pending. Flash PMI services up, better than expected. Flash manufacturing PMI down. So flash services PMI is up, flash manufacturing PMI is down. Interesting. So a mixed bag there. I don't know if that really gives us an indicator of where this wants to go. I'll be still looking for these London highs to get swept. Yeah, I think Tristan's right. I wish I had stayed in this trade, but I just would have had to hold through market open and then news. So that's no time to be in. I risk on fundeds. I risk. Well, here's how I select my sizing, Luke. For every $500 of drawdown that I have, I'll risk 1 micro. So right now I have plenty of drawdown, so I'm going to risk probably 5-6 micros. Even though I could risk more, I don't really. I want to preserve my capital. I don't want to over risk. I really only need to make about $250 to $300 per funded account per day to be able to take a max payout every 8 days with Apex. So to answer your question, and if you're asking like what do I look for in terms of RR and all that, like if I were to enter this, it all depends on where my entry is and where the logical stop should be. So I was in on this trade. Where was it? Down here. My stop would have been right below this candle wick, but I didn't hold because I have one of those. So instead of holding like I should have, I sold it right here, but stop would have been like right there. So I was in 5 micros. So $10 times, so basically $200 right there. Is that how that would work? Yeah, $200 would have been basically what I would risk on that trade. To make 570, probably would have gone higher, so more like 700. Yeah, Nathan, I'm on 50K. Nice, Aiden. Do I think there's a way for you to trade at 16? Yeah, you can paper trade, bro. I don't think there's any rules against that. You can sign up for TradingView, which is what this platform is that I'm using, and you can with that you get a paper account. Comes pre-stocked with $100,000 of fake money in it. Yeah, or get somebody older to. I'm not going to say that, but you know what you could do if you really wanted to get around it. But if you're just looking to get good and practice and learn, I'd say make a TradingView account and paper trade. Nice, dude. 2000, nice. What was your sizing on that? We're just teasing London high here. I don't know what's up. Can you guys even see that on the chart? Two contracts, nice. Two minis. That's a good day, man. I tell you, best advice I can give you right now is close out and go somewhere and do something. Go to the gym. Go do something. That boy. Yeah, don't give it back. Yep. ES just or NQ just swept London. The question is, should we look for a reversal at this point, or should we look for a continuation higher up to all-time highs on NQ? I like ES, man. I had a couple of months where I cleaned up on ES. That's all I traded. You think we go up to all-time highs? No reversal here. Could hit off of this 5 minute and just keep going higher. That candle doesn't close for another 2.5 minutes. We'll see. Yeah, Tristan, I think you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if we get there's a lot of liquidity lower. So all this, there's some good liquidity resting down there. So I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to, I don't know, who knows? I think you're right. It's 50-50 at this point. Sleepy, I don't know about, I don't know that much about crypto. So I can't tell you. I don't really mess with it. I mean, I invest in it, but not like in a day trade aspect. I lift after. I lift in the afternoon, man. I like to have a couple of meals before. I typically don't eat my first meal until after I get done trading, which is around like 11:30. And then typically go work out after that. But I like to have at least 2 meals before I go, if I can. I need to start going back to, I've lost a bunch of weight, man. I need to go back to hitting it hard like I was. Dial back in. So far, we're getting a little reversal here. What about you? You prefer to go in the morning or in the afternoon? Dude, I've been for the past, since I started summer school, which was in May, I just have not been eating as much as I should or working out as hard as I should. I'd say short here, man. At this point, I want to take out some of this liquidity lower. There's no telling, though. It could just touch off of this 1 minute's been holding. Where to go? I think it's tough to say with this inversion right here because this thing's been a strong inversion. Is anybody in this trade right now? I'm not really sure, Steven. At this point, exactly where price is, I wouldn't do anything. It's kind of like a 50-50 range here. You got all-time highs up above right here. Then you have a bunch of sell-side liquidity down there. So I'm not really sure. ES already swept all-time highs and reversed. So it's hard to say. Might start trading Dow. I'm not liking the movement on NQ anymore, really. I just caught a couple of things. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's definitely tough. I think shorts off of that 1 minute are probably pretty good. It's just a question of whether the price continues to reject off of this. I'll be right back. Yeah, I know what you mean there, Zach. You're right on the cusp, man. If you're consistently passing evals, you're right there. Oh, for sure, dude. If you're staying consistent and you're the other thing is not just repeating your mistakes. Like if you're actually journaling and analyzing why you're blowing your fundeds and making correct changes based on what you're discovering, you'll definitely be there. there's something weird about the psychology around a funded versus an eval, man. Like, it's almost like something in our brain switches. This is a crucial point here. Will this 1 minute hold? Yeah, journaling helps tremendously, man. Tradezilla is a good platform. Tradezilla, it's a website for keeping track of a lot of different metrics to do with your trading. I think handwritten journaling is good too. Like screenshotting the trade and then going back and writing exactly why you took the trade, what you were feeling, what went wrong, why it went wrong. I believe in self-flagellation too. So if you have like a cat of nine tails or something, you can just sit there and just I'm kidding. Man, it's crazy to think what is possible because, like, rubber band on the wrist. If you have just like a couple of funded accounts and you're making $200 or $300 a day on each one, I mean, I don't know what kind of lifestyle. I mean, I guess it all depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live, but you can definitely do that as a full-time job if that's what you're. I want all 20 of these Apex accounts and to be doing $250 to $300 a day on each. Be taking max payouts every 8 days and be sitting at a lot. What up, Ishmael? I wish I could play the bangers for you guys that are coming through my headphones right now. NQ's all right, man. We're up. We're up for the day right now. Off of 2 trades. Should have held them. We'd be on our way to the bank right now if I had held the trades that I was in on. Was in on this short and then was in on this long and cut them both way too soon. So we're in the green pretty decently, but would have been way more in the green if I had trusted my setups. Hopefully we can get something else to present itself. Up 1,200. Yeah, I'm up times 5. I'm on 5 funded accounts, so I'm up around there. Not quite there, I don't think. No, around right there. I'm right around there. Get rid of my debt. Yeah, that's a huge burden for so many people. I'm thankful that I've managed to avoid that. Dave Ramsey in my head. Make it happen, El. I mean, Apex, you can get an eval for 30, $40. Who said they're in this short? Ishmael, yeah, we did take 2 trades. Bro, I blew my funded yesterday. I'm so mad. Damn. How'd you do that? I thought you were up. been in this short. Jaden, that 1 minute inversion that I was talking about is still holding strong right here. I would have cut profits. I would have taken profits pretty soon off this rejection because it just does not seem to want to dig through that. Unless you just want to wait, see if it grinds through it. Apex does require activation fee. It's $140 per account. Oh, nice, man. Congrats. That's sick. That's a good feeling. It shouldn't take that long to hit. That boy, Alex. Shut it down, man. Took a little piece from the money tree, and you're going to go on with your day. Don't give it back. Nice, Zach. It's a good feeling, man. Bro, I was up out of nowhere. Shit did a reverse, and I was in with way more contracts than I usually. Oversizing, man. It's tough. Lesson learned. Were you not trailing your stops? Yeah, I am too, Zach. 1 to 3 minis per eval trade. And typically around 5 micros per funded trade. What up? Morning. How we doing? Might do a backflip. Hey, Jaden, if you're still in this, glad you didn't listen to me. Zero, zero. Traded anything today? Yeah, traded this short right here. Took a short off the retest. And then was long right here. Got cold feet around here. So I sold right before it skyrocketed. So now we're just kind of hanging out. Waiting for another sweep of something major so I can find a solid entry. We're tapping into a pretty strong 15-minute inversion right here. It's a 15-minute inversion as well as a 15-minute fair value gap. So I wouldn't be surprised if price rejects pretty hard off of this and goes back up. I'm tempted to fire off a long based on the higher time frames. I want a flip of a gap before I do, though. A flip of a gap back up. It's pretty big. We'll mark out this 1 minute here just to see what we got going. Oh, I'm not FOMOing. I mean, you're sitting inside of a pretty strong 4-hour gap there. Yeah, I think there's some good confluences here to justify a long. I think we dig into this and take out this low first. That boy Judah. Yeah, Patron. I got it. The reason I cut the trades early, I was in this short. Where was it? Yeah, right here. I was in this short, and then there was 8:30 news, and I got cold feet. Got out there, and then this long was right before market open. So I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to be in the market open 2 days in a row." So yeah, I took small profits on both those trades. So was in 5 micros on each. Yeah, yeah, 270 or something times five, or 370 times five. All right, there's a sweep. Yeah, we're up. We're up decently for the day. One, 2 years. No, I'm not in a trade. We were waiting for a setup here to try to find a good entry. Yes, I do. I highly recommend that. I think if you haven't gotten a payout before, that you should stick with one account until you get a payout. But once you're getting payouts, it makes way more sense to have like whatever the max amount of accounts is for that firm, or are for that firm, to be trading the max amount. If you're with Apex, the max is 20. Most other firms, it's 5 or 3. But I think, yeah, trading the max is what you should be going. What I go for, I won't say what you should be going for. What I go for is to trade the max amount of funded accounts, and to trade 1 micro for every 500 a drawdown that I have. So, and you also got to think, like with Apex, you can only take a withdrawal every 8 days. So, and the max payout for the first like 6 payouts is $2,000. So if you do the math, 2,000 divided by 8, you don't really need to make more than that per day. So that's the way to do it. Did you get screwed, Brian? Damn. Yeah, that happens. Is trading your full-time job? Being a student is my full-time job. Trading is my main source of income. All right, Nathan. Good job, man. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, I'm looking at you. This move was to take out London low and then this sell side liquidity. It could go lower, but I mean the move made sense in terms of London high resting right here. It was actually right there. Somehow we didn't hit it. We did not sweep it, but we went towards it. That's where the draw was, and then price reversed, came down and took out these lows. So I would say potentially a reversal. Can anyone help me with what is doing well, not well, so I can watch and be able to understand the bars? What are you just looking to understand what you're seeing here? You're just looking for that? Yeah, tapped right into it. See, took that long, tapped into that, and went right back up. You long off of that, Tristan? I might be long with you there, to be honest, because it's a decent setup. So we'll put stops below the hang on a second, I'll help you out there. I've researched, but the bars are confusing. Jen, what you're seeing here, you can break this into time periods. Let's see, how do I explain this? Hang on a second, let me see what this trade's doing. Each bar represents a different time period. So you can select the 1 minute, you can select the 5 minute, 2 minute, 1 hour, whatever time frame you're on. Like right now, this is the 1 minute. Each one of these bars represents 1 minute of time. I would think that price wants to push up there, at least to London high. We didn't sweep that. We'll see if it inverts this this 4 minute right here. Did that make sense, Jen? Was that explaining like what these bars mean? Is that your name, Jen? I'm hoping for a push You got a 15-minute inversion here, which is not ideal, but you got everything else looking pretty bullish. I want this 4-minute to flip. Yeah, Riley, it's been hit or miss, man. There's been some good setups, but they've been, you got to be super on top of it. Hey, pretty little baby. What does that even mean? Let me wick your candle. Come get you some. Don't sign yourself up for something you can't handle over here. Earl. Come on. Strong rejection off this inversion. Good luck, Jordan. We got this. Tristan, did you get in off the rejection of that 2 hour, or are you in basically where I am? 5 micros, Steve and Steven. This is funded. What's your take profit? Take profit is the I have it above the all-time highs. Asia highs up there. New York PM high, New York AM high. There's like 3 different liquidity pools up there. London high, it could hit that and want to reverse, so we're going to keep a close eye on it when it gets to that level. If it gets to that level. What a strong push here. Let's get a strong push through this 1 minute, and I think we'll be good. All right, Judah. Good job on the win, man. Take it easy. Hey, we could just get the bottom falling out of this thing and get stopped out in like 2 seconds. I like to be a little more optimistic than that. I'm visualizing here a rocket ship to the moon. It'll just blow right through my take profit. Good luck to you, Humberto. Humberto. All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, if we push through this one, I think we keep headed higher, at least to London highs. We'll see though. What about US? Yeah, 1 minute's got strong push against it. Let's blow through that. Let's get a little push here. Let's get a little push right through the one. It just doesn't do that when you're connected to your actual TradeAvate account for some reason. It does it with paper trading. And it proceeded to just skyrocket. So I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna sit here. We're just gonna wait. I'm gonna trust the trade. We got Buzz. We good. Appreciate the follow. I can't read your name. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. It does look similar to yesterday, and we didn't get the big move that we were looking for until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So hopefully we don't. I wasn't on the charts when it happened, but I saw it. Hopefully we're not in that same situation today. I hear you. I think if we invert this 1 minute gap right here, if we can push through it at least to the CE of this gap, then we're going to get enough momentum to where price is just going to take off. That sucks, Parker. Take a break, man. Take the rest of the week off or something. Clear your head. Do some journaling. Figure out what you did wrong, and come back next week with a different approach. Nice. Yeah, we needed to keep pushing, Braden. Needed to keep pushing. Not a whole lot of momentum right now. Appreciate the follow, Jay. That's actually London high is the next draw on liquidity, major draw on liquidity. We came close to sweeping it earlier, so that's just a conservative estimate. If price were to just skyrocket, I want something there. So if it goes to that level and then immediately rejects, you at least close out. Most likely, though, I would say that the strongest draw right now is this London high, and that's where liquidity pulls up, attracts price. It's kind of how the market works. Yeah, man. Thomas, I don't really look at the Dow. Brian, Mr. Nobody in here, he was talking about that earlier. I haven't been paying attention to the Dow. I just look at ES and NQ. I would not buy a funded, unless you're already taking hella payouts. I would not buy a straight to funded. If you're consistently taking payouts, then it makes sense to do that. But if you're just looking to skip the eval phase because of patience, wouldn't do that. Rare chance goes through. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but interesting perspective. Thank you. Wouldn't target that so bad, but my rules are always do one-to-one trades. If that's your rules, stick to your rules. I don't personally believe in a RR as being the driving factor of what trades you take. I do believe if your stop is way too wide, then you should definitely reevaluate your entry. But if you believe a trade's, like if you were to wait for this to invert this 1 minute gap to get into this, you can do that, but your stop's gonna have to be way tighter than what mine is right now. Because if you were to move that stop up, that's a huge stop. That would be closer to your 1-to-1, and I'm not willing to risk that. If you get in down here, which is where we are, then your stop is way lower. If you were to get in up here, you'd need to have your stop basically below this. You'd want your stop to be, get out of the way. You'd want your stop to be almost below that right there, which still doesn't make sense because price could easily dip back into this inversion and then continue higher. So I'm cool with the entry where we are. Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. If that's your rule, I'm not trying to change your mind. It's good to have whatever rules you have, stick to them if they work. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty of different ways to skin a cat. I believe in that thoroughly. I think most of this stuff works as long as you have the mental ability to stay disciplined. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, man. I was waiting for you yesterday. I never saw you. You never showed. Trump speaks 1400. All right, appreciate that. Where's your TP? Up at right above all-time highs, where Asia, New York PM, all that is resting up there. Probably goes to at least to London, I would imagine. That would be the most ideal or the most logical draw right now. Needed to push through this. What's the take profit number? 23,426. 426. Yeah, man. Appreciate the follow, Brady. Thank you for the follows. We're up on the day. Well, this is copy traded times 5 right here. So we're already up. We were already up 370 before this. We're up another 240 right now times 5. So we're up around 600 times 5 unfunded. Hey, it's awesome, Braden. Claw your way back, man. Appreciate the follows. Yeah, break even's probably not a bad idea. I'm still gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it gets past this level right here. Yeah, Jeff, exactly. Yeah. And it's $2,000 every 8 days. That's the cap right now because I haven't, on these accounts, I haven't taken 6 payouts. So for the first 6, you're capped at 2,000 per account on Apex. So realistically, I don't need to make much more today, but I'm just going to let this trade run. Realistically, if you can only take a $2,000 payout every 8 days, you do the math on that, you only need to make about 250 a day, 250, 300 a day. Once it eclipses this line right here, I'll move to break even. After the 6 payouts, I think it goes to unlimited after that. Yeah, I think it's actually maxed at like a $10,000. I don't know exactly. I've never held an account with Apex long enough to take 6 payouts, to be honest. Appreciate the follow, Ryan. That makes sense. Ben Trades, peace trade it. Appreciate the follow. So we inverted this one. See if it holds. Yeah, I'm not with Top Step. This is Apex. I've used Top Step several times. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Apex pays out. I've gotten numerous payouts from them so far on different accounts. What's a good Jeff? You say what's a good starting place? YouTube. YouTube. 20 ICT 2022 mentorship is where I think I would recommend most people start. That's awesome, Eric. That's a good feeling, dude. Keep it up. I would say go with Apex if you're a beginner because most likely, just being realistic, you're going to blow the shit out of your evals for a while. So go with the firm that has the cheapest evals, which right now is Apex. Nice, Noah. Yeah. So if you're brand new and you've gotten past, like, recommend highly go through education stuff first, then start paper trading. I'm gonna move to break even just because this is. Um, I'm just looking at the Dom over here. Order flow just completely fell off for the buy side. It's weird. See how this plays. Let's see this reject hard off of this, not screw around. Yeah, Asia high would be at least the London high. I think is a safe bet, but we'll see. I think that's the question of does it want to go there right now, which it just rejected pretty hard off of that. So we'll see. Yeah, we need this to go ahead and skyrocket. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, 402 is London low or London high. 403.50 ish, whatever it is. It's right in there. AP, appreciate the follow. Yeah. How long have I been trading? 2 years. Appreciate all the follows. I'm a full-time student, but trading is my main income. You big G, what's your bench? Right now, man, I just work out with 315. I don't know what my max is, but the most I've ever lifted was 405. I'm pretty sure I could not hit that right now. Six minis on this trade. He's eating. If his entry is where mine is, he's eating well. That's, dude. Yeah, he's eating. I'm a student too. How do I make this money? Start learning, man. It's taken me 2 years to get here, and I'm still nowhere close to being like a professional or some sort of guru or anything. YouTube, watching people, watching creators who know what they're doing, journaling, back testing, sticking to a strategy, working out, believe it or not, plays a huge role. The mental discipline it takes to work out every day is very similar to the discipline you need for trading. Yeah, stops at break even right now. Man, I'll tell you what, the only reason I haven't cut this trade short is because I was in 2 trades today that did this, and I cut them short, and then they went in the exact direction that I wanted. So I'm just trying to be patient. This consolidation right here, I was in down here. I was in the trade down here, and then it consolidated. I sold right here, and then price shot way up. Same with this short. So I'm just trying to be patient here. Have you found a strategy that works well, or are you still testing? No, I got the same strategy I use on a daily basis, man. Basically, sweep a liquidity, a breaker block formation, fair value gap inside of the breaker or close to it, or an inversion, a clear draw on liquidity in the opposite direction, and a retest of the fair value gap. If you get that set up, basically similar to what you're seeing here, you can pretty much, stick to that and you'll be eating. It's the unicorn model. I think that's what I know it as. I don't know if there's a more professional term for it. Yeah. Yeah, good hammers. Yeah, the name is the unicorn model. I don't know if there's like a so the one person who's helped me out the most, uh, mostly with mental discipline, but also with just reading the charts, is a guy named PJ. If you check out PJ Trades, he's all over Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. But he's a good dude. He's a good guy to learn from. He taught me patience tremendously, because before I was just clicking buttons, man. I'd take a shit ton of trades in a day. Now I take 2, 3, maybe 4. 2 or 3 is typically what I take. Yeah, he's good. He's a good dude. There you go, Buzz. You must have had your stop at that wick high right here. Not a bad spot. Yeah, God bless you too, man. Take it easy. Yeah, PJ's group, PJ's Discord group. He live trades every day in his premium Discord. Any day that there's news, which typically isn't Mondays, so 4 days a week he's live streaming. TP would be London High for most people, up at the 402, 23, 403 really. But I'm just going to keep holding here. Yeah, 100 a month. It's not bad at all. He's got a whole education series that he has that comes with the premium. He's live trading. There's a really good community in there of guys that even when PJ's not trading, like they'll be live trading the like Asia session or New York PM session. So it's a good group. Yeah, PJ. We're rejecting off of this other 1 minute right here. Really need to push through that. Might be all she wrote right here. Gotta be patient. I think it's still grinding. Tempted to close this, but I think it still wants to go higher. Yeah, I think it really does still want to go higher. Oh, sorry, I got this all wonky for you guys. There you go. Oh, dude, I shout him out all the time, man. I'm not selling anything, so I don't care. I'm You're perfectly fine with shouting him out. I do it all the time. I was talking to him just before I went live today, so he and I are cool. I'm sure he appreciates it. We need to push through this one really badly. Somebody sacrifice. We need a sacrifice here made so that we push higher. Appreciate the follows. 315 times 5, 2 sets. Yeah, you're going to be worn out. That'd be a solid PR, though. All right, good shit. Good shit, Tristan. Appreciate it, man. I would have called him, but I was just too lazy to pick up the phone, you know? I just don't trust this 1 minute that we're looking at here. Dude, they always do that. BlackRock just won't leave you alone, man. It's always harassing. I'm trying to learn how to hold mine too because I really want to cut this loose and take profits where I am. But I don't know. I feel like I have such a strong conviction that it's going to keep going for London High. Maybe I'm being naive and just too hopeful. We need a strong push through this one. I really think it is too. No, I definitely think that was a safe bet. If you took profits on that, then there's nothing. Being green, man, you can't be mad about that. It wants to invert this 1 minute so bad, but it just can't do it. There we go. Keep going. 12-second, it inverts this gap. Appreciate all the follows. Up 627. Nice. Very, very nice. Lock that in. Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people took this trade, which is good. I love seeing that. Take money from these people. P&L for the day is 923. It keeps bouncing here. 923 times 5. Can you buy funded accounts without passing a challenge? Yeah, I wouldn't do it though, unless you're just, if you're already taking payouts like pretty consistently, then I wouldn't do that. I would not buy a straight to funded. No, I'm still in, Ishmael. I'm still in. I'm using Apex and Take Profit Trader funded accounts. Today I'm just trading Apex. Learn from learn from YouTube, learn from a bunch of different places. The main guy who helped me the most that I can recommend is a guy named ChristianTrades. More so than anything, he helped me with discipline and just getting a grip on your mind, because that's the hardest part of all this. You can learn charting and market structure and order flow and all that pretty quickly, but you're not going to be making money until you get your mind right. You're talking about with personal capital, Rooster, or are you talking about with a prop firm? I would say you need at least 5 or 6 thousand, and you need at least 9 to 12 months of consistent profitability with a prop firm before I'd say even consider trading personal capital. Appreciate the follows. There you go, Zach. There you go. Yeah, Rooster, I would stick to prop firms until you're like 9 to 12 months of taking a payout every single month and making decent money. I wouldn't consider it personal until then. Yeah, I got some on this trade right here. I have some of my evals connected to my funded accounts on Apex. Yeah. All right, Maya. Take it easy. Just saw that. If you're still in here, have a good day. Yeah, Apex can be stingy. TP is set up at right above these New York AM high, New York PM high, and Asia high. I'm gonna keep an eye on it though. When we get to London high, I might take off part of this position if we get there. John, it's so hard, man. I had yesterday and today. I mean, I was in two positions today where I got out too early because I just got cold feet, and then you just watch price go exactly where you wanted it to. It's super hard, but it's a good practice for not FOMOing into trades. Yeah, real slow delivery. My fear here is that it's going to be one of these slow grinds up and then an elevator down, staircase up, elevator down situation. So probably best to keep a tight stop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my stop's up at 23, 359.25. It's right here. Yeah, not a bad idea to take profit. Nice job, Zach. I just saw your comment, man. Halfway to my other eval being funded. Very nice, man. Slow and steady. Nice, man. 2,700 in a take profit eval. When am I requesting a payout? I got 4 more profitable days that I have to have before I can request one. Nice job passing that top step. Yeah, I'm trading prop firms right now. Take profits the way to go. Yeah, I have those accounts too. I have 5 of those accounts. Yeah, this is 5 funded accounts I'm trading right here. I've passed a lot of combines, taking a lot of payouts. Yeah. Well, the first combine probably took me like 3 months to pass, 3 or 4 months. Yeah, you can just finish out the 8 days by opening and closing trades if you want, but you have to make, I think it's like a minimum of $50 profit or something to be considered a profitable trading day. You can use code PJ. He's got a code with basically every prop firm. I don't have a code. I'm one of you guys, man. I'm nothing special. I'm not one of these influencers. I'm just doing my thing, sharing what I know, the very little bit that I do know. I appreciate that follow. Price has just died right here. Yeah, there's your answer. Inside of these two 15-minute inversions. I would keep an eye on it more, wish more. I think that I would think that it would want to go a little higher than that, but that's why I'm closing out 3 and leaving 2 contracts running if it gets to London high. But it very well could hit that and immediately reverse. Who knows? Hell, it could reverse right now. We're sitting right inside of these two 15-minute inversions. Appreciate the follow, Zach. It's tempting to close this. I'm going to take profit right there. I don't like the way order flow is looking. I know that it's not the most logical thing to close that position because London high is so close, and it very well could hit that. But the way the order flow is looking right here on the DOM, it's slowing down tremendously. And I'm wondering if it's this, I think we're in a, 1 hour inversion here, so, and a 30-minute there. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm happy with 500 on that. We're up 900 times 5 on the day, so. Yeah, I closed that, and I'm not. If you guys are on evals, I would recommend staying in it. If it disrespects this 1 minute here, I'd start paying attention. But if you're in it from where I was down here, stops below this inversion right here would be an ideal spot. You're still taking plenty of profit. What would that be? That's still 36 points. If you're on eval trading one mini or up to 3 minis, you're eating well on that. So, yeah, leaving a runner is definitely. I think it goes up to London, but I just didn't like the way that the order flow looked. I'll leave this here for you guys to keep watching. We'll see what it does. I appreciate the follows. Yeah, I took profit. Up on that one trade, we were up 500. Before that, we were up 370. So we're up basically 900 times 5. Just inverted that 1 minute right there. I'm studying economics. Trying to get into the business school, debating getting into trying to apply to the business school, so I can switch my major to finance. $32. Late jump, man. Decided to go back to college. Young. Appreciate that, Zach. Yeah, I closed out, Tristan. I closed out right before we inverted, or right before we started dropping back down. I still think it goes to London. I still think. Dude, yeah, you're eating. I'm 900 on 5 accounts, or 870-ish on 5 accounts. But 1100 on 6, you're eating, dude. Look at that. See, we're getting a push higher now. I still think London's the draw. you're still in this trade, I think you're safe. Yeah, I needed that, man. I needed that. Yesterday, took a loss, $300 loss times 5. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, Max. When we first at pre-market right here, what I saw for this position, you had a sweep of a major liquidity level right here, and then you had a V-shaped recovery. And on that sweep and the recovery here, you had a breaker right there. So before any of this, you go to the higher time frame chart, and you're saying, okay, well, here's the 4-hour chart. What are we seeing? We've had a consistent push higher all night, right? A bunch of low resistance liquidity was forming on that push higher. So then you go back to where we just were here. This is 7:30-ish. Yeah, 7:30. Breaker, sweep, strong V-shaped recovery. On that recovery, you had a 1-minute gap that formed right in here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll mark it for you because it's not marking itself for some reason. From this candle wick to that candle wick. That's a 1 minute right there. You got to tap back into that 1 minute and a rejection. That's actually where I opened the trade. There was consolidation that took place here. I got out, so I took a little bit of a profit. But then it came back, retested that breaker, and then absolutely dropped. And the reason it dropped is because they wanted to take out all the sell side liquidity that had been forming. A bunch of it. A bunch of this sell side. So it took all that out. Swept major lows. What happened here? This is where we took our second trade. B-shaped recovery, basically almost the exact same thing in opposite form. The breaker wasn't very strong, but you had basically the same thing. You had a gap here. You had a V-shaped recovery. You had a retest of that gap, and that's where we opened the long. And then again, we had this consolidation for like 20 minutes. You also had market open coming. So I took profits right here, very small profits on that. Combined, these two trades, I made $370. But if I had held, my target was London high. Same thing happened. Reverse, come back down, sweep a major liquidity level down here. We had a formation. We had an inversion of the 1 minute. We had a 1 minute that formed, creating a somewhat of a BPR right there. That's where we opened the long position, targeting London highs that did not get previously swept. They still have not been swept. So that's where the draw is. That's how we were coming up with our ideas for those trades. Hopefully that made sense. What about the 5 minutes time frame liquidity? What do you mean? What about it? Major session where previous sessions high and lows are. So there's an indicator you can use called ICT kill zones and pivots. You can screenshot this to get your settings like mine if you want. So once you activate that, you get these breakdowns of sessions. So this is New York. Let's see. So you can see. You got New York PM right here in pink. Asia sessions right here in blue. London sessions here in green. New York AM is purple. This is just the way I have it marked. So a major liquidity level would be the highs and the lows of these sessions. So you got Asia high up here. That's a major liquidity level. You have New York PM high up here from yesterday or Monday. It's another major level. You have New York AM high also from Monday, another major level. All-time highs is what that is up there. Same with down here. You have New York PM lows, New York AM lows, New York AM lows. So those are major liquidity levels. Those are targets. Those are draws. So typically you go from one of those to the next, one of those to the next. That's kind of how market works to an extent. not in a short. I'm not in any position. We were long here up to London High, but we took profits already. We were short down here, sold up here. We're actually short right here. I guess did I buy right here? I bought right here, yeah. Right at this level. So that was our position. And we sold right there. So we took 57 points, basically. Yeah, John. I hope you can too, man. I had a losing day yesterday, so it was nice to come back and make some money today. You'll get there. I use Zach. I use Tradeovate, and there's a copy trader built into that. So appreciate it. Yo, what up? Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, 9:30. Two years ago, Dr. Jup, 2 years ago, and this is my third month profitable. So, and what I mean by profitable is actually like making more money, a lot more money than I have spent. I'd say for the first 2 years, I dumped between 8 and 10 grand into evals and learning and all kinds of shit before I came profitable, or before I ever even saw a dollar, I should say. But within the first month of taking payouts, I made all of that back. I was in PJ's Premium. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. This is the kill zone that I use. The ICT kill zones and pivots. I think any of the Lux Algo indicators are good in my opinion, though. They're just slightly different. I think those are they make pretty quality indicators. If you're on eval, I would say most definitely stay in this trade up to London highs. I'd have your stops below this 1 minute inversion, though. I'd have stops probably below this candle wick right here. The exact level is 23,361. Zach, do you ever get any slippage using TradingView to execute trades? Like where you like close a position and it doesn't immediately close? That's why I stopped. Yeah, that's why I use Tradeovate, because even though my account is signed in here on TradingView, I am actually executing on Tradeovate because it's immediate. There's too much slippage that I've come across with executing on TradingView. How long were you in his Discord till you felt confident enough to go solo? Honestly, I don't feel confident enough to go solo, man. One of the reasons I do this is because it creates a level of accountability that I have accountability and I have discipline, but it's a whole lot easier to take stupid trades and to click the button too many times when you don't have other people a part of what you're doing. So one of the main reasons I wanted to do this was I initially did this because I was recording myself with OBS. And then I was like, screw it, I'll stream it because I had some people asking me how to do this stuff and they wanted to see it. So having more people around you, one of the best things about that Discord is people are really supportive and really they hold each other accountable. Most of the people in there are super serious about making money and they treat it like a business, and that's what you want. And there's not this scammy bullshit, like, excuse my language, but I feel like some Discords, this is what my impression has been of some other Discords, is it's more about selling the course rather than actually helping people. And PJ is actually about helping people. You know what I mean? Like, he could probably charge way more money than he does, but $100 for learning the information. I mean, within the first month of me being profitable, that the amount of money I spent on that Discord paid for itself 10 times over. It's $100 a month, midnight. But if you're just starting out, before you get into joining a Discord or doing anything like that, I highly recommend teaching yourself what you can with YouTube. There's a series on there called the ICT 2022 Mentorship, and I would go through all of that maybe multiple times. It's a really long series, but the trick is to find a strategy or a model. Find one that you're comfortable with, that you can clearly see that for some reason it stands out to you when you see it on the chart. Find that model and stick with that. Don't try to learn 10 different things, 10 different setups. Learn one setup and backtest the shit out of it and stick to it. All right, Zach, congrats, man. Hey, good luck on that PR too. Later, man. Power of three is a ICT concept. It's a strategy, just like Silver Bullet. But I think all of those are successful. I just have an easier time identifying and taking these trades where the unicorn setup, I think, is what he calls it, or maybe PJ is the one that calls it that. I know PJ calls it that. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you're golden there, Max. I think that's smart, man. That's a smart stop, I think, and I think you're safe up to London at least. Yeah, trade ICT. The breaker is basically let's see here. This is a breaker. Well, let's get you a better one. This is a breaker. So a breaker is basically the last leg, major legs up before a sweep lower, or the last legs down. In this case, this was a breaker. The last legs down before a sweep higher. So that's what constitutes a breaker. I'm already out of this position, man. We were in from way down here, and we took profit up here. Took 57 points off of it. What's up, Carlo? Nice, Max. Yeah. So you're on the right track, bro. Yeah, you're doing your thing, man. Very nice, Steve. Yeah, I think Max has the right idea. Stops would probably be below this 5-minute candle here if you want to be super tight. If you want to be a little looser, you could put it below this 1-minute inversion down here. That's not a bad spot either. Give it a little more breathing room. But I still think London highs, man. I still think that we want to touch that before we go anywhere else. Yeah, I think after you've learned the basics and you're paper trading, then that's probably the point where I'd say, all right, join a Discord of somebody that knows what they're doing, that can help you out for the rest to get you a little bit further. Yeah, I think we're pushing at least to London highs, potentially up to Asia. I mean, all-time highs is right there, so we'll see what price does here. Yeah, Steve, I get that. I get that. And there's nothing wrong with if you're up 400, taking your profits, man. We've made this was a major move. You're up probably around 50 points. So if you wanted to close the position, and that's what you're comfortable with, do it. Close it. If you're going to sit there worried about whether it's going to go to London, then close the position for your own mental, preserving your mental capital. But if you can completely disconnect yourself with the emotional side of it and just be like, screw it, if it hits my break even, then, or it hits my stop, whatever, then let it run. Hey, Patron, that's better than 0 for 1 or 0 for 2, man. So, man or woman? I don't know. I can't see your picture. I don't know if you're, I think you're a girl. Sorry if I misgendered you. I know a lot of people get offended by that. But yeah, if you're 0 for 0, that's better than being red. Blew 2 evals today, man. I hate to hear that. But the good thing about that is you are learning something, hopefully, from it. Hopefully you're journaling what happened, what went wrong, and not doing it again. Yeah, I sold during the chop on 2 other trades today, and I was like, on this one, I'm just going to hold. I'm just going to hold it, and I'm glad that I did. I don't blame you for selling during the chop, though. It's nerve-wracking. Full port? I would not do that. Would not full port. I'm not a full port advocate unless you're just screwing around. This is my 3rd month. 3rd month profitable. I used to post a lot of gym content. That's how I got all the followers on this account, to be honest with you. But it was, I use props. I use prop firms. I was attracting an audience that I really wasn't intending to attract when I was posting my gym content. And I was told that I posted too much thirst trappy stuff, which I didn't realize I was doing. So I kind of stepped away from doing that. Yeah, you can imagine. How many accounts do you copy trade? Well, right now I'm copy trading 5 funded accounts. That's what I did today. Trying to get that up to 20. Yeah, Max, it was viewed as thirst trapping though. I honestly didn't intend it that way. I was just proud of the work that I had put in, but yeah, with Apex. Nathan, yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I got an Instagram. Is it in my bio? Oh, I took it out of my bio. That's my Instagram. Yeah, we caught the long at the bottom here. It was pretty nice. Took profit right up here. Appreciate the follow, Connor. Ishmael, I'd wait to see if it sweeps London first, man. There's no clear signs. It's still respecting bullish order flow. So I would at least wait for London highs. And if you don't get that, I would be really hesitant to take a trade. Because right now you're just in a premium of the range, and these draws are strong up here. So I would wait. But I do think you're right to be looking for a short as your next trade. I would just wait. The timing on it I don't think is appropriate. No, I would not take shorts. Yeah, for sure, Ishmael. I think once we sweep a little higher, we've created a lot of low resistance liquidity to the sell side. So I would say once you get a sweep here, I'd be eyeballing for a short. I wouldn't just blindly take it. I would wait for several confluences. What I would like to see if I was going to look for a short would be something like this. Maybe a little more exaggerated than this, but this was a good short setup here. You had a breaker, you had a sweep, you had a V-shaped recovery, tap back into a 1 minute that was created. And if you can hold that, I would put, if you get a good entry here somewhere in this area, stops would be above this candle wick, or if you wanted to be super tight with it, you could put it just above the breaker, and I'd be targeting the lows. And in this case, the lows are going to be all of this sell side liquidity. It's going to be down to here. This would be my target for the sell side. So once it sweeps up here, I'd be looking to target a short down to this point. But I wouldn't be looking for anything close to that until we actually do sweep. And it could reverse because look, I mean, we had pretty strong reversals here without sweeping. So it's likened to tease this London for some reason rather than just taking it. But eventually there's gonna be a spike that it takes that. No news. Somebody I think said Trump was supposed to speak around noon or around 2. Was it 2 or noon? Appreciate the follow. Appreciate all the follows. Somebody might be getting ready to get stopped out here. You got stopped out, Max? If your stop was below that 5 minute, you got stopped. If your stop is below this 1 minute, then I think you're still safe. But this order flow is not looking pretty. Max, don't press it. I've blown many accounts being super close and just trying to take another trade so that I pass. If you're up for the day, just come back tomorrow and pass it then. There's no rush. God bless you too, Zach. Appreciate it. I'm studying economics. I appreciate you guys following. Yeah. Trying to get into, if I can get into the business school, I'm switching my major to finance, if you will. But right now, my declared major is economics. Might even switch it, dude. If trading keeps going, I've been thinking about this and talking with a bunch of people about it. For the past 2 years, over 2 years, I've been on track to go to law school. That's the whole reason I'm in college. I've been working for a law firm where I was, and wanted to be an attorney. Loved it. Absolutely loved what I was doing. Still do. I don't do it anymore because I'm in school. But man, with the way trading's going, I don't know that I can justify going to law school. So I'm kind of at a weird crossroads right now in my life where everything that I've been doing class-wise, schedule-wise, has been set up pushing towards going to law school. But now if that changes, dude, I might change majors. I might start doing other stuff. But I'm giving this another 6 months, 6 months to a year to decide. That'll be like the crucial time period. Ishmael, I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, Nathan, it's tough, man. I'm at least gonna finish undergrad because that's just something I'm gonna do. But I've worked my ass off to get into the school that I'm into. It's a really good school, and I don't know, man. I feel like such an idiot if I didn't at least finish my undergrad, and I want to. I'm 32. I appreciate you guys saying that. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Ben, are you talking about like personal capital? If you're talking personal capital, for one, I wouldn't get into trading personal capital until you've been consistently taking profit, like sizable payouts for at least like 9 months to a year. But when you do start, if once you reach that level, I would definitely say, Braxton's saying 500. I was going to say like 5 or 6 thousand. Because if you're taking consistent payouts, 5 or 6 thousand, that's like like half of a payout. So I would say take your profits from your payout and roll it over into a personal brokerage and do it that way. Yeah, it seems like trading prop firms is the way to go, man. If you can rinse and repeat and just be rinsing these guys for what they are willing to give you, trading personal capital is cool. I think it is ultimately the way to go once you've been doing this for a number of years. But man, prop firms are just a no-brainer. You can't allow them to manipulate you, man. You can't allow that. You can't allow them to do that. You just can't. You got to figure it out. You got to figure out what smart money is versus dumb money. So Ben, prop firms are uh, firms that will allow you to trade with their capital, but you have to pass evaluations or combines first. So you get an evaluate. You pay like $50 if you're signing up. Let's say Top Step, it's $50 for a $50,000 evaluation. So you get basically $50,000 of play money to trade with, and you have to abide by certain rules, and you have a target profit level to reach. You have to do it for a number of days. There's just 5 days, I think. I think you can pass in two, right? Yeah, you can pass Top Step in two. So you can only make 1,500 per day. You got to do that for 2 days, and then you pass the evaluation. They move you to a funded account or an express account. Still play money, but you're able to take withdrawals on what you make. You keep 90%, they keep 10%. You do that for a number of days, 30 days or whatever of consistent payouts, then they move you to a live funded account, which is real money. It's their money. And you keep a percentage, and they keep a percentage. It's still a 90-10 split, I think. So that's how prop firms work. And if you blow the account, you're only out what you paid for the evaluation. And there's tax benefits too to it, because you're paid as a 1099 versus getting taxed at a different rate and all that kind of stuff. So there's tax benefits to it as well, like Nathan just said. No, I'm not taking any more trades today, man. I'm up $3,100 on funded. You cannot take payouts on evals. You have to get to a funded account before you can take any payouts. I don't see a short here, to be honest with you. I see it maybe after you sweep a major liquidity level, which would be this London high up here. I'd wait for a sweep before I'm looking for another entry on any trades. There's several that you can check out, Ben. I'm going to tell you this from experience. You will lose money doing this with your personal capital when you start off. Unless you're just like some savant. AMP is the brokerage that I would use if you're trading personal capital. Yeah, Ishmael, I'm live every day at 9:30, man. In my opinion, you don't want to trade a live with prop firm. Yeah, Nathan, you got it. There's way better taxation implications for trading through prop firms than trading personal capital. Unless you're in Puerto Rico, or there's other methods too, but we won't get into all that. I'm not a tax advisor. There's little loopholes. I appreciate all the follows. Bounced right off of that 1 minute. I think, man, I'm hoping this is the push that you guys get up to your London high. That way you can be looking for your shorts. My entry was down here. We're out of the position now. We took profit where this top is, 57 points. Entry was this fair value gap right here. Had the inversion and then the fair value gap with it on top of each other. Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people saw that trade and took it. Appreciate the follow. Swept London highs already on what? On ES? I don't think we swept on NQ, right? Yeah, we didn't sweep on NQ. Appreciate the follow. Tristan, I'm trying to figure out, you were right last time you said something like this, so that's the only reason I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. This is NQ minis and then NQ micros. On neither one did we sweep. Yeah, people do that because it dies off. So it's kind of like the New York AM session. Like, technically the market opens at 9:30, but a lot of people set their session to start at 8 because that's people believe that's when the algorithms get turned on, which something does happen at 8. You can see it right here. I mean, the volume massively increases. Scroll to London. There's London right there. Oh, sorry. It's London on the 5-minute, yeah. And New York has only gone up to here. We teased it. We didn't. And that's NQ. We're on NQ right here. $392. You must cut your session. Your session must end at a certain time. That is not what I got. My session ends at 9. This candle wick right here was at 7:40. The candle wick high for London high was at 7:40 on the 5-minute. Where are you getting that from? Closes at 12, actually, Eastern time. Begins at 3 a.m. Eastern time and closes at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I have mine marked because volume at 9 because volume completely drops off right there for the London session. But it's open until noon. It's still open right now for the next 10 minutes. Appreciate the follow. Yeah, I still think London high right here is the draw. $23,402.50. That's not what I have either. Oh, yeah, that's what I have. 402. Yeah, 402.50. That's exactly what I have. Yeah, Pete, that's what I got too. New York session is from 9:30 a.m. until technically 5 p.m. But I wouldn't be in after 4. Is that the default setting for that indicator, Tristan? Because I changed my settings. The actual official market time is 3 a.m. to 12, but I think I have mine from 2 to 9 or 2 to 7, something like that. Like the way that our market is from 9:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern time, theirs is 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. That's their official market hours. I started an hour early and ended at 7, I think. 9. I think we're getting a London push here. Yeah, yes, it's hit highs. Yeah, I'm the same, Tristan. I don't, especially typically from 11:30 to 1:30 is a no-go zone for me. Yeah, that's smart. What indicator do I use for these sessions? I use this one. Here's the name of it. You want to screenshot it? Should I close my ES long? Just because it sweeps this London doesn't mean it's going to stop. So if you got runners, we still have liquidity resting above it. Yeah, Nathan. I use this one. ICT has one, ICT, Fair Value Gap Indicator, Lux Algo, but this is the one that I use. Nephew Sam. Lunch, if you're marking out that indicator, uh, this is marked from 12 to 1. I would say it's a safe bet to be out of the market from 11:30 to 1:30. That's just my rule, but people do whatever they want. It's just volume kind of falls off around those times. I don't necessarily think you should close your ES position though. For whoever was asking that, I still think that you could. We still got London highs here. Then you got some liquidity above it. So if you leave runners, I would close most of your position around London high. Leave a couple runners. Appreciate the follow, Patty. Yeah, I understand what your logic was there. That's why I was saying I think NQ is still going to push a little higher. I mean, it's not a bad if you were in from the bottom of ES down there from this position. There's nothing wrong with taking profit where you were. Appreciate the follow. What's the strategy? We waited for a sweep of liquidity down here with a V-shaped recovery, and then we got in on the 1 minute inversion. We were in. We took 57 points. Decent. Some advice I would give to somebody just starting. I would start with YouTube. I would watch as much informative stuff on there that you possibly can find. Specifically, if you're looking to trade ICT, I would check out the ICT 2022 mentorship series. ICT 2022 mentorship series. I'd check that out, go through the whole thing multiple times, take notes. Then I would start paper trading. Check out a website called tradingview.com. Sign up for that. You make a free account. You can pay for some data. It's like $6 a month. And you will practice whatever strategy. Find a strategy that you like, an ICT strategy if that's what you want. Trade just that one strategy. Don't try to trade 10 different ones. Find one. Trade it consistently. Learn it. And then I read a book called The Best Loser Wins. I would definitely check that book out because the mental side of things is going to be the hardest for most people. You'll learn market structure and strategy pretty quickly for most people. The hardest part's going to be controlling your discipline in your mind because this stuff will screw with you hard. I had a bearish bias pre-market. Then when news came out, I flipped my bias like a goofy. It's tough, man. It's tough. A little over 2 years. 2 years this past January. So 2.5 years. Am I going to operate again? You mean take a trade? I'm not taking another trade. I'm up $3,100 on the day. I don't have a reason to take another one. I risk giving any of that back. Yeah, trade funded. Santana, I'll be live again tomorrow, 9:30. If you want to come back and check out the stream, we'll be taking trades then. We got more news tomorrow, I believe. But I'm just watching. I want to see this. It's the 2022 ICT mentorship is basically teaching you market structure and setups, ICT setups, what to look for, what to pay attention to. It's just like a strategy handbook basically for that style of trading. Yeah, Steven, take the profits and call it a day, man. That's a good day. Key. Yeah, I trade funded. Yeah, if you're already in a computer focused career, man, this is an easy transition. The mental, again, if you, I say this in all seriousness because a lot of people don't understand this. If you have mental problems, meaning, and I'm not talking about like mental illness, I'm talking about like if you have a hard time with impulse control and seeking dopamine hits, like through scrolling and things like that, you're gonna have to get a grip on that because this, whatever glaring, I don't know if you want to call them defects that you have as an individual, they will manifest on these charts. So that's why I say one of the most important things after you learn kind of how the market works and why is learning your brain and how to control it. Because that's the reason most people fail. Most people don't fail because they don't know how to trade. They fail because they can't get a grip on their on the mental side of trading. They revenge trade. They just want a dopamine hit, so they want to click the button. They can't accept a loss. Yeah, Jody, we've all been there. I've been there. I was telling somebody the other day, my biggest loss ever, my biggest losing day ever came after a winning day. I made like 23,000 in one day and lost it all back plus some the next day. So, and that was because exactly what you said. I was like, man, I figured this thing out. I got this. I know what I'm doing. And proceeded to not only lose, but then revenge trade and get pissed off and not control my emotions. And so if you don't get a grip on that kind of thing, man, you will never make money doing this. Greed also. Like if you win and you're up for the day, walk away. Go do something else. Key for your first time, just being realistic with you, you will probably blow many evals. So you want to probably go with the cheapest firm that you can. And right now, I think Apex is the cheapest that you can probably get. It can be between 30 and 40 bucks. Sometimes they run sales where it's 90% off. You can get a 50K account for $16. So Apex is what I would go with. Yeah, knowing when to cut your trade loose, knowing when to take profit. Yeah, all of that kind of thing. Yeah, Nathan, you're right. Those are the most key moments. You kind of got to go through. I'm the kind of person where I got to learn my lessons the hard way. So for me, those are important because they teach me lessons. Sometimes it doesn't sink in the first time. I need it beat into me a couple more times. This is just the 5-minute. We bounce around though. I mean, this is just the 5 because it's the cleanest looking right now. I appreciate the follows. Miss Kim, appreciate that. Yeah, Rocky, I do. Yeah, always. I show all my trades. I help people. I try to help people. No, I don't do any mentorship. I don't sell anything. I don't do anything like that. Yeah, I'm profitable, Rocky. I am absolutely a Christian. Jesus Christ is my Lord. Yeah, I trade micros for on most of the time. I just trade even on evals. I like to trade micros because you can take profit a lot. Like you can percentage out of a trade. You know what I mean? So like if you're in for 1 mini, it's hard to close partials on that. But if you're in for 10 micros, which is equivalent to 1 mini, then you can close half the position and leave the other half running, or close, sell 7 or buy 7, whatever you are, long or short, and leave 3 runners. So micros, I think, is the way to go. Unless you got such a large account that you can do that with minis. If you're trading like 5 or 6 minis, then you can obviously start to percentage out of those, but that's a shit ton. Steven, I don't know, man. It's done this. It keeps teasing London. It's teasing it. It's right there at it. Yeah, I can do that. Hang on. Let me hide this real quick so I can switch over to a paper account. Give me 2 seconds. Hang on. All right, this is paper. So let's say you're in for 1 mini right there. Actually, that's not a good example because we're showing how to get out of them. All right, so let's say we're in for 10 micros. So let's say I'm gonna buy 10 right here. All right. If price were to come up to like right here, you can have a limit order set. Let's say for 5. You could set on TradingView. You'd right click right here and just sell 5. You'd have a sell for 5 right there. So when price gets to that, it'll sell 5 of the 10 contracts that you have open. And it works in the other direction too. If you're shorting, then you could buy 5 right here. So let's say we're shorting here. We're short right here. We would buy 5 back right here. So if you're longing, you would sell. If you're buying, or if you're shorting, you would buy back. If that makes sense. I'm not doing anything. I was just showing her how to slowly close out a trade without closing it fully. Take partials. Am I echoing? Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, I wouldn't expect a rejection at that level. There's nothing really significant about it. London high was right there. It's teasing it. So, again, I don't know what it's doing other than sweeping up this low resistance liquidity. Still have an inversion right here. It could bounce off of that and go higher. That could have been the full move, though, up there to that. I don't know why it would leave London highs just chilling, but it could. It's done that twice already, so. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Yeah, 85% is a pretty damn good rate, bro. You don't get much better than that in trading. I'm on YouTube and on Kick as well. I just started on there yesterday on both of those, so haven't really done anything to build those pages up or post much on there, but trying to get it going. TikTok likes to flag my lives for some reason and trying to say that I'm not trading for some reason. Probably not. I don't think I am actually, but I don't really care. Ja, I think you're right. You're supposed to call it the blue app or something for the one, and then the green app for the other, or the red app. Yeah, it's so stupid, man. Yeah, pretty strong support right there. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. This is all for entertainment purposes. Nothing should be construed as financial advice. If you're looking for tax or financial advice, consult a financial advisor or a tax professional. Yeah, they hate competition. I hope everybody's out of that long that was in at the top. I'm not looking for anything right here, AP. I'm up on the day. I'm done. We were just kind of just following price action to see what it does. Yeah, not every gap is relevant, I guess you could say. not allowed to talk taxes apparently, Ja. I watch a guy named Rips. He's on at like 8 a.m. He's off usually shortly after market open, but he has this thing that he'll pull up anytime anybody asks him a question like that. It'll be like, not a tax professional, because they flag that stuff, and I think you can actually get in trouble for it, from what I understand. If you're a big time influencer or whatever, who knows, man. I'd say Chat GPT it. That would be you can't go wrong with that. File your taxes strictly based on Chat GPT responses, and you should be good. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Yeah. What you're seeing here is lunchtime consolidation. This is why I do not ever like to be in a trade during this hour. If you're at the point where you're asking that in a serious way, like beyond just curiosity, because it's actually pertinent to your situation, I would highly recommend contacting a professional that's familiar with prop firms. This red box, both of those are inversions. You had a 1 minute fair value gap created right here, and then this came back up and inverted it. Sorry. You had a 1 minute created right here between these two candle wicks. Then this candle that came up closed above it, so that inverts the gap. Appreciate the follow. YouTube to get started. YouTube will help you tremendously. And come in here, man. I try to teach as basic of a strategy and as simple as concepts as I can. I'm not really teaching, I'm just showing what I use. This is all for entertainment purposes. Appreciate the follows. We're up 3,100 today. $3,140 $3,140.90 to be exact. How long do you usually backtest for? What do you mean, like in one session or just like in general? I try to do it. Typically now I backtest on the weekends, and I'll do it for several hours a day. I probably do it for. I use it as kind of like a break from my schoolwork, to be honest with you. I don't see it as more work. It's relaxing to me. So I'll backtest like on Saturdays and Sundays, at least for an hour on each day. Yeah, in one session, at least an hour. But I mean, do it as frequently as you can. Like if you can only do it for a brief period of time, just try to find a setup. Test out your strategy with that setup, and if whatever the results are, at least you've tried one strategy and you can move on. You don't have to sit there for hours on end. Just getting a little bit better every day adds up tremendously. Majoring in economics. Appreciate the follow. Poco. Y'all come up with these names. Yeah, little boat, no problem, dude. Are you still in a trade? Nah, we got out. We got out around here. We were in from this level down here. Took profit up here, 57 points. Traded with Apex today. Apex funded. No. Little boat, no. No bearing on it whatsoever. So far, I mean, I'm in my junior year, so far nothing that I've learned. So the statistics course that I took, a little bit correlated to this because it talks about standard deviation and stuff, but there's nothing that I've learned in school that really pertains directly to this, and there's nothing that I've learned in school that wouldn't have been easy to find on YouTube or something. Yo, you ever had trades go? Not typically, man. Not typically. I don't typically hold that long. I really don't. Most of my trades, I think the average, I could probably look at it, but the average duration of my trades is super short. Let's see here. Average hold time is 8 minutes for me. That's my average trade time, 8 minutes. So I've never had trades go that far. Yeah, no worries. No, this is TradeZilla. Apex does not. My Fund of Futures has way more data with their accounts than Apex, but I subscribe to TradeZilla and have my accounts connected to that, so I can see all kinds of different things. This is futures. This isn't a specific stock, Burn Dog. This is futures, and this is the Nasdaq futures. You see it right there, Nasdaq 100 Index futures. Yeah, man. You asked a server to help you out, like a waitress or a waiter? Is that what you're talking about, John? Am I in right now? Nah, we took profit already, man. We were in down here from this inversion, and then took profit up here. We were in like right at this. We took profit. It was 57 points, so right about there. No, I wouldn't say that futures is harder than stocks. You got to think one stock can potentially be super volatile. When you have Nasdaq, it's taking a bunch of different things into consideration at the same time, so it's a lot less likely to be as herky jerky than a specific stock. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you asked a waiter or something. I was like, I don't know if I would take tax advice. I mean, they could know what they're talking about, but it wouldn't be my first place to look. A lot of those guys, when I first started, they were gatekeeping the shit out of that kind of information, man, and I couldn't understand why. I haven't had to deal with it yet because I just started becoming profitable. This is month 3, so I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where I'm like, I luckily have some people in my family who are inclined to know those sorts of answers, so I've been leaning on them, like, hey, what do I do? What's the best way to handle this? And they don't really know because they're not clued in on this industry. So I got a tax guy now. GTA, I'm not doing anything, but we were long. What I have marked out here was the trade that we took. We were long from this 1 minute all the way up to this high. Hey, you had a couple clean shorts, man. You had this one right here, market open, and that was yesterday, actually, wasn't it? No, that's today. And this is a beautiful short right here. You had that. Yeah, Ja, I think what I've always heard, though, this rings true for attorneys and accountants and doctors. You never want to be, if you're an attorney, you never want to be your own attorney. If you're an accountant, you never want to be your own accountant. But it will be nice to know things like that. Like, yeah, I'm sure you'll learn the information. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be your own attorney if you're an attorney. You need a third party. Well, the same with taxes. You got to think when you represent yourself as a certified accountant. When you're certified, there's all kinds of implications that come with that, legal implications. If you put that liability on, you would rather that liability be resting on someone else versus you when it comes to your own personal finances. That's the main reason. It's an unbiased party that is looking at the numbers, and for one, it lends a lot more credibility to the numbers. If you're your own accountant doing your own taxes on on a major scale, probably for your personal income, if you're like you and me, probably not a bad idea. It's not terrible, but if you're making shit ton of money and you own multiple businesses and things like that, you don't want to be dealing with that on your own. You want the liability to be on somebody else that you're paying money to. Do you think we go back to 300 level? Talking about down? It could. I mean, it could touch into this area down here. Hell, bottom could drop out and it goes down to all this down here. At this point, I don't really know. We're kind of in the middle of the range, and the way it reacts off of these levels will be what you want to look at. Patron, you said my name. What's up? At GC? What is that? Gold? I don't know gold, man. Gold moves in weird ways, so I hate to tell you what to do there. I really don't know gold. Sure. Full port or short? I don't know, man. I'm kidding. I really don't know. $298. There's a he's looking at the low from before. It's a good TP. I think if it keeps going, we need a did we invert? Yeah, we inverted a couple gaps right there. I think if we push through this inversion right here, then yeah, you're probably free and clear to that low, but it's not a trade that I wanted. I'm still surprised we didn't take London highs. I appreciate the follows. Definitely, definitely. There was three setups that I really liked today. This one at open, I wish I had held longer. Then the long, that was another move I was in on. I wish I had held that. I got out at this consolidation. Both of these, I was short here, and then I got out at this consolidation right here, and then I was long here and got out at this consolidation. Both took off right after I got out, but thankfully we caught this position all the way up. Got in on the 1 minute right here, and took profit up here somewhere. Up here somewhere. So, yeah, it was a good day. Yeah, I get nervous, Ja. It's something I'm working on. And I felt good because we consolidated here on this trade. Like, look at this. After I got in this position on this tap back, look at this consolidation right here. And I was like, man, we're just going to reject off this 1 minute, and it's going to fail and go lower. And I was like, you know what? I sold early on those first two trades on those consolidation. I'm just going to hold this. So I held it, and we made money. But you're right. It is something I'm working on. I have such an easy time on evals just being like, whatever happens, happens, and holding that position, just letting it play out. I'll even close the charts and walk away sometimes. But when I'm unfunded, man, it changes it's hard, but you try not to let it, but it does change your mindset. It's like, man, this is real money. It's so hard not to let it. Like, you just want to still have the same eval mentality of let it ride, but it's hard to switch over. All right, Ja. Yeah, I'm about to shut it down too. I just realized it's 12:30. I got to get moving. I appreciate you guys all coming in here and hanging out and watching the trades. Hopefully, you guys are getting something from this. I really appreciate it. But I'm gonna head out. We'll be live again tomorrow morning at 9:30. All right, guys. We'll see you later.